Reason 4. The hidden strain between idol and company. At the heart of the issue is the idol system itself. South Korea's entertainment industry thrives on structure, control, and image management. From debut to peak fame, an idol's life is shaped by the strategies of their agency. Contracts dictate schedules, partnerships, appearances, and even, in some cases, personal choices. For years, Jungkook adapted to this system. He rose within it, mastered it, and became one of its most successful examples. But as BTS transitioned from rookies to world leaders in music, the imbalance between control and freedom began to shift. Jungkook, once a teenager under strict guidance, grew into a man with ideas, artistry, and ambitions of his own. His solo projects, songs like Seven and Standing Next to You, showed not just musical diversity, but also a personal voice HYBE could not entirely frame. The more Jungkook carved out his independence, the clearer the contrast became between HYBE's system and his individuality. The scandal, then, is not just about disagreements on money or management. It is about what happens when a global superstar outgrows the very mold that shaped him. Jungkook is no longer just HYBE's golden maknae. He is an independent creative force. That independence, while inspiring, creates undeniable tension within a company still built on collective branding and top-down direction. Another hidden truth lies in fairness. Fans often question whether Jungkook, despite his contributions, receives the fair recognition and freedom he deserves within HYBE's empire. There have been moments subtle, yet telling, where Jungkook's efforts seem to have been minimized in official narratives. Some claim his solo projects were not promoted with the same intensity as other ventures under the HYBE umbrella. Others suggest that when BTS's group activities paused for military enlistments, HYBE shifted resources toward new groups, risking the dilution of Jungkook's achievements. Fairness is not only about money or screen time, it is about acknowledgement. Jungkook's fans have long noted that he generates extraordinary engagement and revenue for HYBE. His endorsements with Calvin Klein, his solo singles dominating global charts, and his unrivaled presence on platforms like TikTok and YouTube prove his influence. Yet, the company's communications sometimes flatten these milestones into group-oriented successes or corporate achievements. For fans, this feels like an erasure of Jungkook's individuality. This disconnect breeds suspicion. Is HYBE more concerned with maintaining its brand than celebrating Jungkook's uniqueness? Does the company fear that acknowledging Jungkook's independent strength could overshadow its other projects? The scandal narrative suggests that this imbalance between individual recognition and corporate protection has been simmering for years, only now surfacing into public debate. Reason 3. The financial power struggle. When examining the scandal between Jungkook and HYBE, one of the most pressing truths lies in money. At first glance, it may appear that financial matters are simple. Jungkook, as one of the most profitable artists under HYBE, brings in massive revenue, while the company provides management, structure, and global opportunities. Yet beneath the surface lies a more complex, volatile struggle. This struggle is not only about numbers on a spreadsheet, it is about power, control, and who ultimately benefits from the wealth that Jungkook generates. To grasp the magnitude of this financial debate, we must first recognize Jungkook's extraordinary value. In the entertainment world, very few artists achieve the level of profitability he represents. His solo releases consistently dominate global charts, streaming platforms, and digital downloads. His Calvin Klein campaign, for example, reportedly generated millions in brand exposure and direct sales impact, with Jungkook's name trending worldwide within hours of its release. On TikTok, Jungkook's influence is unmatched. Short clips of him, whether official or fan, recorded accumulate millions of views, translating into attention that brands and platforms desperately seek. Even YouTube shorts of his stage performances often become viral within hours. For HYBE, this means Jungkook is not just another artist in the company's portfolio, he is a financial pillar. But herein lies the problem. When one artist becomes disproportionately valuable, questions about distribution of wealth inevitably arise. Fans, industry analysts, and even insiders quietly speculate whether Jungkook is compensated fairly for the billions in profit he indirectly or directly generates for HYBE. Entertainment contracts are notoriously complex. They include percentages for album sales, merchandise, brand endorsements, concert tours, and digital royalties. Companies argue that they invest heavily in training, promotion, and infrastructure, justifying their share of the profits. Artists, however, often find themselves questioning how much of their hard work truly returns to them. Jungkook's case is even more sensitive. As one of BTS's key faces and a solo powerhouse, his projects likely account for a significant percentage of HYBE's income, particularly during periods when group activities are paused due to military enlistments. Yet HYBE has diversified into multiple subsidiaries and new idol groups, raising suspicions among fans. Is Jungkook's revenue being used to fund other ventures, instead of fully supporting his own career? Reason 2. Control over creative, freedom, and image. One of the most striking truths about the Jungkook and HYBE scandal is the battle over creative freedom. For years, Jungkook has been seen as the golden maknae, someone who could adapt to every role HYBE needed. But as he grew into an independent artist, it became clear that he wanted more control over his own image, music, and artistic choices. Even at the height of his global fame, many of Jungkook's creative decisions still pass through HYBE's system, from concept choices for photo shoots to stylistic decisions in music videos. HYBE has historically set the frame. While this ensures brand consistency, it restricts the kind of personal expression that Jungkook often hints at in interviews and live broadcasts. This has led fans to wonder, if Jungkook had full control, would his music and image look different? His solo songs already show diversity ranging from R&B to EDM to pop, which suggests that his artistry cannot be boxed into one formula. The scandal highlights this question of whether HYBE is holding back Jungkook's full potential to maintain corporate alignment. Jungkook's image is one of HYBE's most powerful assets. Every haircut, tattoo, or outfit becomes a global trend. Yet fans have noticed a pattern moments when Jungkook's individuality seems downplayed or adjusted to fit the company's narrative. For example, his Calvin Klein campaigns were raw and personal, but HYBE's official language around them often reframed the spotlight to broader brand goals rather than his personal impact. This raises the issue of ownership. Who controls Jungkook's image, himself or HYBE? The scandal suggests that Jungkook's personal identity is sometimes in conflict with the corporate brand identity HYBE tries to preserve. Fans play a crucial role in amplifying this issue. They prefer authenticity over scripted appearances. When Jungkook shares unscripted moments like casual live streams, spontaneous song covers, or unfiltered conversations, they trend worldwide almost instantly. This proves that people connect more deeply with his real self than with heavily curated images. The scandal emphasizes how HYBE's strict control can clash with the very authenticity that makes Jungkook so beloved. Behind the corporate control lies a human story. Jungkook is an artist who wants his voice heard, his choices respected, and his individuality recognized. HYBE, on the other hand, fears that too much independence could destabilize its carefully managed empire. This push and pull creates not only creative tension, but also emotional strain for Jungkook as an artist, and for fans who long to see him free. Reason 1. The future of trust between artist, company, and fans. Perhaps the most explosive truth in the Jungkook and HYBE scandal is not about the past, but the future, the fragile issue of trust. In the K-pop industry, trust is the invisible contract that binds artists, companies, and fans together. Once broken, it can be nearly impossible to repair. For Jungkook, trust means believing that HYBE will prioritize his growth, respect his independence, and treat him fairly. Yet the tensions over control, finances, and recognition have raised doubts about whether HYBE truly values Jungkook as more than just a brand asset. If Jungkook ever loses trust in his management, it could push him toward a path of greater independence, a move that would reshape not only his career, but also HYBE's global position. ARMY's loyalty has always been directed toward the members of BTS, not necessarily the company behind them. The scandal amplifies a long-standing sentiment among fans that HYBE sometimes prioritizes profit and corporate image over the well-being and individuality of its artists. Every misstep, whether in promotion, transparency, or communication, chips away at that fragile trust. Fans want reassurance that Jungkook's career is guided with respect and fairness. If HYBE fails to provide that, the company risks not only backlash, but also a lasting fracture in its relationship with one of the world's most powerful fan bases. The scandal ultimately reveals that both Jungkook and HYBE are at a crossroads. For HYBE, the choice is between maintaining rigid control or evolving to embrace Jungkook's independence. For Jungkook, the choice is between loyalty to the system that built him or stepping into a future where he leads his own narrative. This crossroads is what makes the truth explosive. No matter what direction is chosen, the outcome will have ripple effects across the entire entertainment industry. At its core, this is not just a corporate issue, it is human. Trust is built on respect, honesty, and fairness. Jungkook has given his youth, talent, and dedication to HYBE. Fans have given their unwavering loyalty. The question now is whether HYBE will honor that trust or allow it to erode further.